All right. Hi guys. How are you doing? Like the like the name said, we'll do this as long as my internet holds out. Now that it's been down 3 times today, and yeah, good news is though, kind of turning a positive spin on it. Because it has been down, I haven't been able to do some modeling or some other stuff. So I just went into ArtRage, and I'm currently working on a 3D map of the land we made, all cool and super detailed, and crazy like. So expect that to come out. If I'll definitely release this for anybody that is interested in it. That way you can get your hands on it and start playing it. I might also do some 3D stuff with it. Just because I can, and it'd be awesome. Okay. Question today for everybody involved. All three of you. What would you rather do? Do you want to work on this? Would you want to work on the map that we made? That's this guy here. Kind of refining some colors and feels of it, or would you rather go in and make a new map? So that's the big question. Until I get an answer, I'm just going to go ahead and refine this guy. We made this land last time, and it basically it's in a extreme weather. It gets really hot, really cold. Actually, I was watching a documentary on a country, I think Uzbekistan, um, about the extreme temperature differences there, and I was like, "Holy crap! This is very similar, kind of scarily similar." So shout out to that place. What I'd like to do today is just gonna save this guy. We'll get rid of this guy, but yeah, I'll get this guy done today, and we'll make it interesting. We're gonna don't say that, and don't say that, and don't say that, and we'll go back to Wonderdraft. So let's go ahead and get started here. We do know that we have an extremely hot desert environment up top, and down below we need to kind of make this a lot colder. Now, something that someone came up with. Let's go ahead and we're going to do that really quick. Something someone came up with is, and mentioned last time that I really kind of liked, is the fact that we're going to get some weird animal species, um, and some weird creatures and stuff like that. So, one option is for me, if people aren't there, is we can go ahead and create some of those critters or whatnot. Get that in. Kind of blush up there. Or, pretty much do anything else we want to do today. So that's this. Well, yeah, that's kind of what do you guys want to do? New campaign map. You want to do do you want to do a creature design? Do you guys want to, it is your choice. I'm good with whatever it is. Fleshing out stuff's also fun. So if you let me know, we'll do. First person to suggest something is what we'll do it. Okay, so I'm adding kind of a hotter desert up here. And apparently I'm dropping frames like crazy. So awesome. That makes me feel so glad. And I will be looking to change my internet provider because I think I'm done with those guys. And I might have a competitor in our area. So yay. All right, back here. Kind of browning out the mountains a little bit, causing some depth and stuff like that. Get really interesting there. There we go. Nice little thing there. Let's go ahead and talk environment here. So someone came up that we have, is this my notes? No, that is not my notes. No, this is my notes. Yay. So we have some crazy creatures. We have like some migrating creatures that when things cool down or when things get hot, um, stuff changes. So let's go ahead and I think what we're going to do here is we're going to jump into ZBrush. And I'm thinking bug. I'm thinking bug here, but maybe not just bug. Something I'd like to do, just try this out, see if people like it or whatnot, is I'm going to create we're going to create a critter today. We'll start just with we don't want to save changes. And there is an artist on, let me find him really quick. I actually got permission to do this. See if I have, oh, yeah, let's move ZBrush somewhere that everybody can see it, Dan. That's good. We're going to create a creature today, if it will allow us. It is not being nice. Come on, ZBrush. Come on, buddy. There we go. There we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and create something in ZBrush. Now, you can do this on any 3D program. You can do this in Blender. My weapon of choice. There we go. Hi, JR. How are you? Let's see. I like those. Okay, let's make a bug then. Let's make a bug. Let me pull up this artist. We're going to kit bash something, meaning we're just going to grab stuff that we already have. I just got to make sure that I have. This guy's really, really cool. Nice guy. Ooh, Doom bundles. Here's this. Okay, Bernard just does some amazing stuff. He also makes kit bash, so you can make parts and bug stuff. I do have the extended license here that will allow us to pretty much create anything we want. Basically, it's the extended commercial license. I did contact him to make sure it was cool to do this, and he said, yeah, please. So I'm going to throw him the link, and we will kind of go from there. So let's talk bug really quick. Let me find it. Sorry, I got a lot of stuff here. Where's our creatures? Curves, deco, creatures. Okay. And let's go into our bugs. We have these models that he made, these insect pieces. And we are going to... I just realized that I am silly, and please tell me that I turned off monetizations. Did anybody get an ad? That would be nice if no one got an ad. Let's see. And well, apparently, yes. So let's just turn all those off. All right. Ads are off. Cool. Okay, let's jump in here. We are going to start making a bug. So let's go ahead and let's do the body first. We're working with a bug that is a, there we go. First of all, we're gonna, as in any good bug, we need to talk about, okay, so this is migratory, so we got a flyer here. But we also want the bug to represent something kind of new. So we have all these kit bash parts. And I think the question for chat is, are we looking at, is this bug, is it, smart, or is it kind of beast, kind of locust thing? And that's kind of cool. Kind of interesting. So preference, if it's just a, oh, that's really cool. A little damselfly thing going here. That's kind of cool. We could do something with that. Or we could just do something with this. Let's go with this guy. Let's kind of go with this guy. But we not only do we want to make it a bug, we need to be able to make this bug so it kind of makes sense it's traveling around. So our next big thing is, let's see what this bug eats. And we're going to do that with our kit bash here. Oh, yes, there is the head. Kind of a more a sentient critter. Oops. Yeah, that's a good question. And that's the And we can make that up. Is this like a prey beast, or is this like a? I'm thinking it's almost a prey beast. That it gets cold and things freak out, and it leaves wherever it is. We talked last time about maybe this thing hides in glaciers in the cold. So let's make it kind of cold like. I guess let's turn it over to chat. Chat, what do you think? Do we want a you want just a bug that migrates during the heat and cold, or do we want kind of a scary predator thing? Because if we want a predator thing, we should go with like something like this, kind of scary. If we want something, a little more, yeah, can't talk. That's kind of cool. Again, we can always go back and change these. So let's go ahead and just do that. I mean, kit bashing, really easy. Gonna have a big hit there. Kind of put that where we want it, angle it down a little bit. There we go. Okay, predator thing. RJ, are we? How smart is this thing? That's kind of a very big. I mean, is this a mindless like swarm being, or is this a like? I think the predator thing's kind of cool. We can make a giant mosquito. That is absolutely horrifying, but freaking awesome. So that'd be our mosquito. Does anybody have preferences? I'm thinking mosquito would like drain everything. Thoughts? Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna make mosquito here, mosquito-esque. What I'm doing right now in ZBrush, Belgian bug might be really in since we don't see that sort of bugs often. Okay, let's find a different head then that would represent that. Let's actually change the body too. So let's go ahead and we're just going to zip down here. And we're going to go back to our, headed back to our bug shape. Form and function, all that. It's a standard thing that the form of a creature or being is in direct response to what that thing does and what it is trying to do. So in this case, let's get... So we got a kind of scary little spider thing there. Scorpion. That would be kind of interesting for a sentient bug. So let's kind of vote on something. We have this dude that kind of we can probably make bipedal or as bipedal as possible or something like that. What do you think, RJ? We can make something like that's kind of cool. So let's so this is option 1. Okay, we'll call this Pointy Boy. Then maybe option 2 is okay, or we can make this guy stand, and that's these two. So one's Pointy Boy, these others are more humanistic, like Tri-King. Hey, how are you doing? Just to bring you up, we're creating, for the people that just joined, here's a map we made. And someone said it is, let's make some creatures. We have some creatures that travel, it gets cold and these things come out. RJ in the chat has said that, I hope I'm saying that right, is saying that we should do this, a semi-intelligent, something that is pretty intelligent, that might, migrate. So we're choosing a body type to best reflect that. We got these guys that are kind of silly looking, but different. So that's option 1. Option 2 is like one of these. We can easily make these into kind of a species. So one is these pointy things that are weird. This guy that is standing up straight. So this is A, B, or we can make something like, C that's more animalistic but intelligent. So yeah, go ahead and vote, guys. What would you like to be? Again, A is this pointy guy. I'm Brace Easter Indian. Oh, thank you. It's good to see you, Nicole. Thank you very much. So that's the question in chat. What do you guys want? Do you want a kind of weird bug like this? Do you want an upright bug like this? Or do you want a bug that is like this, that is intelligent but still bug-like. So person bug, weird bug, or intelligent bug. So go ahead and throw your vote in really quick. Wait here. Looks like Adonis wants two. Okay, well, Adonis wants two. Does anybody else have an opinion? So we kind of got two options here. We kind of got this guy with a weird tail, and then kind of a more streamlined bug. This one. Okay, so two it is. So definitely two. So one of these guys. So this is option one. That's option one. And this is option two. One, two, one, two. This one's a little more streamlined. This one is a little more nature. This specific bug feels a little bit more naturey. Okay, so one, so two. This guy here, streamlined. Yes. All right. We will do that. Okay, so we're going to streamline this guy. So let's now look at the function of its face. We're going to ask, what does our bug eat? Let me just double check this is the right. Why not both? All right. Okay, we'll do both. Maybe this is we have a larval form, and then we have let me just double check that this subtool is the one that I have bought an extended license for. And we're waiting, and we're waiting. And I do not know why I did that, but that's pretty freaking rad. Huh. These are different heads. Okay, this is not from Nikolai, so we can't use these. So let's go ahead, and we're back here. So we're going to use his heads. Because I definitely want people to get what... Oh, let me just double check. I don't want to host somebody over. Because I'm using a wrong set that I don't have the license for. But it's very important to me that I do have the right set. So no one is getting hosed. All right, I believe this is the correct one. If not, I will be buying another commercial license, and that's just absolutely fine with me. So let's talk about head shapes and what we're learning from critters. We have kind of a sentient, as I can talk, sorry, mouth surgery and all that, species. Well, that's kind of cool. So let's say this is the adult form. We'll have a larval form. But this kind of got a wise bug, kind of, oops. Definitely want to make sure that this stays inside. Kind of have this thing going. What do you guys think about something like that? Let's get some more options, though. Another head could be like that. Big eyes. I dig this single solid eye. We got something like that that's just angry looking. I like that a lot, actually. Got some really ugly. That's kind of cool. I'm just thinking if it's gone through evolution and it's kind of evolved something. Okay, we will just keep on adding heads till we find one we like. So we got the head up top. We have the shoulder heads. We have this guy down here. Does anybody have a preference? The one in the middle, kind of with a single eye, is kind of cool because you don't really see the shape and it kind of distinguishes itself. Like it's a really smart being. But then we got these heads. We're going to call this the neck. Maybe we'll call this our scion looking thing. And then we have the neck head. That's really kind of cool. Then we have a kind of a pointy guy. So let me know what you guys, I guess this is one. This top one is one. The shoulders is 2. And this abdomen one is 3. or should I just do something else? So 1, 2, or 3, your guys' preference. That's 1. I lost the other ones. I think I'm almost 1 or 3. Okay. 1 or 3. Good question. Actually, let's take a look at this one really quick. I've got a lot of subtools there. Again, we're working in ZBrush. Okay, do you guys like, we got a head here. I'm just going to turn that off. Then we have this head. Does anybody have a preference here? So we got like single eye head as number 1 and weird, can't tell what eyes are, big head there. Does anybody have a preference? So this is 1. Okay, 1. Okay, we'll go with that head. So we're going to keep that head. Let's check size of that. We're going to need to get a neck on this guy, and that's fine. But I'm thinking we take the head and we drop it down just a touch. So it's in line. See, we have this nice little curve. Let's keep that in line. All right, that's neat. Next thing we're going to do is let's give this thing some legs or arms. Going back to this collection, let's go with, start on arms. Okay, we got a lot of interesting things. That one's fun. Kind of creepy, but fun. Kind of a 3-prong. Do we want to get kind of animalistic or do we want to go with thumbs? I think is the better question. Do we like thumbs? Like something like that. So 1 is thumbs. 2 is more crittery, if that makes any sense. So 1 for thumbs. 2 for no thumbs. Got thumbs. Yes, it's adapted to those and use some tools. That kind of matches the figure of this guy. Or we can go with, graspy hands like these, or both. Why not both? And we have some secondary hands like these guys that are maybe more for grabbing prey. Both. Okay, both it is. Sweet. Consensus. Love it. Okay, so we are going to just put these into place and get them where we want. All right, so let's put these in. And I think these are feeding hands. Sometimes you get bugs with the, they kind of have the grasping. And then at times they have kind of this mandible thing going on. Let's go ahead and stock these up a little. Let's make them a little smaller. Put them up in this socket. Kind of hard to see, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Now we're just going to pose them a little bit to help us define the model. We can do other stuff with this guy. Now it does look like we got a little bit of an issue here, but that's fine. Yeah, we're going to have to redo that. We do not want to mess with what we just did. ZBrush can be a tad on the tiffy side, but it is still probably one of the, if not the best creature modeling program out there. And again, you can do this stuff in Blender, this kind of kit bashing. The price of Blender, though, is you have to learn Blender. And Blender is it's getting almost ridiculously complex. Now, make no mistake, I love my Blender. Blender is great. Okay, so we got feeding hands, we got working hands. Let's talk about legs. Once we're saved and happy, and I'm gonna our age might be let's close our age so we can close Wonderdraft as well. Go away and leave us alone, Wonderdraft. There we go. Okay. All right. So we have this. Let's get rid of what we'll do next is we're going to separate these arms because frankly we just don't need them. And again, just Kung Fu and ZBrush. Sorry about that. We'll go try to do this a little quicker. Let's go into geometry. Delete hidden. Don't want these here. We could probably use some. Okay, so we have our bug here. Now let's talk. We'll delete those two. Delete hidden. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about legs. Legs are going to kind of be interesting. So let's go ahead and grab some insect legs here. Okay, so we got a ton of leg options. Now, since this is kind of a biped, well, technically not a biped, but it's a walking insect. I'm thinking that we got some creepy legs I like. Now some turns on, blast it. So we got these, and they kind of follow the same style as the arms do, which is kind of put them down a little bit more. Let's rotate them. Still have a really defined thorax on our buggy here. I don't need them that big. We do need them to cover thorax. Yeah, we can do multiple stuff, whatever we want to do. I'm kind of digging that. What do you guys think? Let's get a. That's what our bug dude is currently looking like. These middle arms, though, we need to adjust these guys. Of course, everything's in a different poly group, but that's okay. We'll figure it out later. Okay, so we got our bug here, and let's talk wings now. Because wings are fun. Where's wings? Oh, they're there. So, long travelers. These guys are traveling a long distance. And again, we'll go in and ZBrush and fill in all these holes. Let's talk about the wings themselves. So we have a bunch of options. These wings are kind of like butterfly wings. They're vaned, meaning there can be a lot of temperature control. Okay, that's option one. Here we got a lot of options. So butterfly-ish wings. I like these grasshopper wings. We also have scary Zerg wings from, StarCraft, and that's fun. And again, totally not sponsored by anybody. This is totally tools I bought with extended license so I can use it online. Just as a... But again, I'm a big fan of asking permission versus forgiveness. What do you guys think? Maybe if they're a really big bug, we got a guy that's going to be traveling a very long way. So I'm going to do a little thing in ZBrush called appending, and that's adding a new model set. Oh, whoops. Oh, sorry about that. My bad. All right. Ah, sorry this is taking a while, guys. I do apologize, but we just want a little model there for the wings. We want some geometry in there so we can place the wings inside of it. So let's go with, yay, we're dropping frames. Well, we will just continue to go, and if it craps out, it craps out. If it doesn't crap out, all the better. Let's have a look at these guys. They're kind of fun. We can do that. I hope you guys can see. I hope I'm still online. I don't know if I am. So we got these guys. I think I want a little more control over the, a little more control over the wings. So let's go with, okay, good. Good. So we got wings there. So let's go ahead and we are going to not shrink these, but we're going to move them in. We're going to make these freaking huge. I'll have to get some better detail on stuff. What do you guys think about those wings? Cool? Nah. Right up against the arms. I like some butterfly wings. Okay, cool. Why don't we actually, instead of putting the arm socket, let's put these back a little bit on the abdomen. It's right there. We're going to turn these up like this. We're gonna add some wings to this guy. Okay, we're gonna use the same type of wings. However, make different sets of them. There we go. ZBrush is, again, big learning curve, but once you know what you're doing, or kind of know what you're doing like me, kind of, you can pretty much do anything with it. Now, I do not have the current version of ZBrush, and none of this is sponsored by anybody. Okay, so here's our big 8. That's kind of cool. I like that a little bit. What do you guys think? And let's see if we have some parts here, because if this is his wing stretched out, let's see if we got some additional parts that we can use to a little more interesting. 10 of antennae, some, oops, some mouths. All right, that's kind of interesting. Let's look at that real quick. So we are going to now append something. We're going to add another one of these squares, select the object, scale it. But what I'm thinking here is we're going to modify one of these parts just a touch. There's our mouth. We got this kind of really cool part right there. So let's do this. But instead of using those, we're going to block out, we're going to delete the majority of this. Go into geometry, delete hidden, close holes. We're going to take these because on a bug, it's Carapace, you have these little selections of wing, something to cover the wings, and we just don't want these riding free and loose in the breeze. Maybe we do. So we're going to slowly manipulate these into place. So in our back, we have these guys, or our two wings there. Then we are going to do the same thing. We're going to make another one. Make another one. Oh. We're going to move this right here. Bring it up. So we keep the curve, but it has something to hide the wings under. So this guy's becoming pretty snazzy, but we want to keep the shape generally. All right. Cool. Let's add a different madcap. And we need to put this guy, a neck on this guy. So let's see if we have one of our parts here that we can use as a neck because of the texture and everything else. I am not seeing a neck. A neck. I wonder. That's an interesting one. You know what? We're going to use that for the neck. Freaking neck. Okay. We'll take that. And again, we can change any of this. Put that there. Then we'll sculpt this. Now, just FYI, sometimes kit bashing in modeling is seen as kind of cheating. And apparently, and it's, to my opinion, it's one of those things that it's based on the person and what they're doing. And as long as you give credit to the artist and, you're meeting all the requirements, why not? As long as you give credit. That's just my 2 cents. Okay, we're gonna make the neck kind of be there, kind of get down. Brush size down. We're just gonna move stuff around here. Cool. Okay. And now we got the neck. He's looking good. There we go. Maybe he has kind of some meaty thing right there. And again, this model is only going to be on YouTube. I'm not going to sell this or anything like that. Map is, of course, free. I don't think this model will be, though, because it's using parts from somebody. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So we got the neck. That's a pretty cool profile. I kind of like that, guys. Kind of like that a lot. Very snazzy. All right. What if I have UVs on this? If I have UVs, it's going to be the best day of my life. Oh my gosh, I have UVs? You're kidding me. Oh, if I have UVs? Okay, yeah, good. I was about to say, do I have UVs on all of this? Oh, crap. I'll do UVs later. That's another thing entirely when it comes to 3D modeling. I might just make a course on that. someday. Today is not that day. Of course, where does his neck go? He had a neck and it is now gone. Goodbye, neck. That's that. Oh, there we go. There we go. There it is. Okay. So we'll come back. We'll make him pretty. We'll do some pictures. You can use them in whatever you want there. We do need to adjust some of the armage. All right. But again, this is a later thing for me to do. But yeah, okay. So here's our little migratory bug. We're going to need a name for this, and this is one of the leaders. And probably by looking stuff, it just gathers all its arms and stuff into its chest. So, okay. So that's our adult bug. Let's go ahead and we're going to render this guy out and save it. Where is... Let's forget where this is. All right, there it is. And we're going to now save this. If I can remember how. Oh, I have to set up Photoshop to do that. Oh, well. So there's our bug. He's awesome. She, it. Good question. So we're going to save this really quick as our streaming. Draft adult bug. All right, save that, and then we'll make our nymph, or the not adult, the version of our bug that is not laying eggs or is processed to lay eggs. All right. Double check, make sure. I'll make sure that all of this is one guy's work, and I if it's not, I'll of course post, but that's fine. Okay, so cool bug. So let's make an nymph. But yeah, here, let's look at it all the way around. Let's make sure we're just going to turn on paint mode on this. Looks pretty snazzy. Okay, let's go ahead and get the nymph or the smaller bug. New document. No, I don't want you to save. All right, so let's go back to the body. Now, okay, the youngins, what are the youngins? Are they littler versions? I'm thinking with these guys, we make them kind of, because once a bug, oh, you can have a much different size of, okay, make 3D. Now we got spiders here. That guy, I don't think spider's the way to go. I'm almost thinking something like this because it has the basic shape. A little too big for this guy. Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, check that out. Let's see here. What if we went with I'm kind of digging this fat boy, a big fluffy bug. Let's do that. Let's say this guy's only a grass eater. Wrong jaw set. Go back to the insect set. And we're going to make this guy a little bit different. And for the lore, the question is it... Here's this guy. We kind of want to match the vibe. I think that head is definitely not matching our vibe here. That's not too bad. Kind of a StarCraft Zerg thing going on, but I think we want something a little less focused on. That's our head we used in the other one. Now we'll just wait for this to come in. This thing's just a grass eater. Let's this is before it molts, of course. You know what? Let's do that one right there. Because it doesn't look maybe thicker if it's building up pupa. Yeah. Let's make this kind of a thick boy. We want this to kind of be, we're going to nestle it right there. Nestle it right there, and then we'll build up the neck a little bit differently. Or you know what, let's come down here and we'll just build the body. Okay, so we got this dude. And we also have like some amazing kind of floaty thing going on. Let's do this. Let's make it one kind of... almost want to turn that body upside down. This guy's getting ready to pupate. These are the little ones. Let's go ahead and work on arms next. Maybe just legs. Little arachnoid legs. Chungus legs. Those are kind of interesting. They're actually really interesting. Creepy legs. Spidey legs. We got options for days. What about those? RJ, what do you think of those legs right there? Let me bring them up again. It's kind of chunky legs like that. So let's get these in place just to kind of fit. And I think kind of this oversized body is absolutely hilarious with these, well, they're not really spindly legs, but they're kind of small. I like that. But again, this is something you could do for your game group. You just bust out a model. Give, of course, the credit where it's due. Actually, these need to be reversed. That doesn't feel right. Let's reverse these. Oh, they can't touch. That's right. They touch in ZBrush. Everything has a cow. We're gonna have to move them apart. We're gonna have to flip them around. We're gonna go. There we go. Oh, that's cute. That's perfect. Check that action out. There's those. Let's currently ZBrush runs like ZBrush runs a lot right now. Hopefully they'll get their act together and not charge a subscription. I've got an old legacy version you can't get anymore. But if you're into any type of character modeling design, 3D anything, this is the way ZBrush is definitely your way to go. We're going to put these legs back here. Oh, can't let them touch. I think it's a single mesh. And they get it. Everything loses their mind. So we'll put these legs back here. And it's all fun and games. So something touches. There we go. All right, so we got our legs there. Actually, let's make these a little bit more chunky, so it matches that socket. That works just great. And now that's instead of legs, let's give this thing some like little bitty arms. I mean, this is a grass eater. It'd be hilarious if you get this thing and it's a grass eater and it's just like, hello. We'll make little tiny. Oh, those are kind of creepy arms. That's fine. Arms to be used on the guy. I think it was those arms. So let's go back in here. We're just going to make some tool arms. And we're going to deposit them right here on the model. If they would let me. No, we touched. Crap. Put it out here. Oh, that's fun. And then again, we will go in and model these and kind of adjust it really quick to what not. Those right there. It looks like they touched, but you know what? Whatever. There we go. Kind of a reminds me of something off Dune. You know, the weird Dune in the 80s. Okay. Now let's talk wings on this dude. What kind of wings does it have? We need wings. And maybe we match the adult wings. It can travel, but we're gonna. This guy's kind of cute. See, a lot the idea of it having this super baggy body that's just full of air. I like that a lot. Then if it, well, maybe it doesn't even have wings. Maybe it just floats and wags its little tail a little bit. You know what? Let's go with that. Instead of wings, let's just go with, hey, let's make this kind of logical. Let's go ahead and make some stuff here. And again, for the artist that does this, I will link all his stuff on ArtStation for anyone that might be remotely interested in this. I'll just smooth this out a little. Some depth and texture, so it looks like these are part of it. Not depth and texture, but a little bit more of a silhouette. Blender is really making a run for it to be the end-all software. ZBrush is great. Now, don't get me wrong. I freaking love ZBrush. But they got bought by a company. I'm still bitter about it, and I'm okay about that. And the company, of course, did what any good company does, and it goes to a subscription model. We all know how I love subscription models, because that doesn't limit anybody or anything. But yeah, I'm kind of embittered about that. Looking at you, Photoshop. But if you want to get into modeling and get the very best tools, ZBrush is a very, very good option. Professionally, I use that word very loosely. I do a little bit of modeling and a lot of coloring for some friends. Oh, look at that. Okay, it's getting there. It's getting there. Let's do some hooks. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm going to block some of this out. That little hovering guy is just hilarious. And that's going to be the way to go. It's absolutely adorable. If I can ask us to. Okay. Adjust it a little bit, make our own thing. Just the neck. Kind of got this turtle thing going on. There we go. All right, we got the pupa and we got the mothers. Okay, so this is our little pupa. Let's see if there's a better rendering. I always like that. Yeah, that's kind of creepy one. So that's the baby. It floats around and holds on to things. Really little. And then this is our, where is she? This is our adult, which I think is really, really, really cool. Okay, awesome. We are going to rock that out and we will call it. And I'll get some rendering pictures online and we'll put this up on the website, allanose.com, so people can. Oh, the map's going to be there. But yeah, so I will leave up the artists that did the actual model themselves. So the kit bash is what we're doing. There's an artist that modeled these themselves, and these are pretty freaking awesome. I really do like these models. And he does really good work. Again, totally not sponsored by ZBrush, Wonderdraft, or anything. That's my opinion. But I think it is. Let's go with the best there. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay. We've got our 2 bugs. I might stream tomorrow or Saturday. I'll let you guys know. But I think we got some cool stuff here. We're going to save this guy. Let's see, where's our other little, there's our other little dude. You know what we could do? Check this section out. We can like, oop, now turn off symmetry. You can like be like, oh look, the babies are with the mom now. Oh my goodness gracious. There we go. See? Cool. All right, that's fun. Awesome. We'll get it to world making. I think we're going to do a new land. I will get the rest of this world done. I'm also going to, as I said, going to go into Art Rage and do one of the super crazy extravagant maps I do. And we'll make a 3D model and just kind of have some fun. But yeah, cool. I think we're going to call it there. And I will be back. Let's look at tomorrow. We'll do another map tomorrow instead of bugs. Awesome. Thank you guys so much and have a great day. And let me know if there's anything you want. And we'll see you later.